studio tour. Yay! Way to go. High fives all around. Watch your fingers and toes on the left-hand side as the doors are coming down. Make sure you got a pair of 3D glasses. You can put them on now if you want to feel like Dan Aykroyd or John Belushi, one of the Blues Brothers. Make sure we move all the way down to the right-hand side and make sure there's enough room for folks jumping on board. Also, if you're seated with any small children, make sure they're seated towards the center of the aisle. Their feet are dangling. That's a safety issue. So, we're going here momentarily. First thing, hey, how you doing? First things first, anybody's first time on board ever? Yeah, all right, car 2 and car 1, all right. Me too. High fives all around, way to go. Let me tell you, you're the greatest. Let's see. Other things going on. Any birthdays out there today? Yeah, right here, all right. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, way to go. Thanks for joining us. I think we're going to get the thumbs up here momentarily. Alright, now this is a real live working movie studio. I do this tour all the time and folks finish the tour and they go, so where do you make movies? And I'm like, we just drove through it. It's a real studio. It's where we make all the movies and TV shows and music videos. A lot of fun going on. As we're driving by some of the sound stages and you see a red flashing light, that's called a wigwag. That means I'm going to have to jump off the mic because the film is going on. And as I say that, let's wave goodbye to the people. See ya! We'll leave it without you folks. Have a good one. Alright, it's not just myself on the tour today. You're going to be joined by my co-host. You might recognize him from The Tonight Show, Saturday Night Live, and That's My Jam on NBC. Give it up for Mr. Jimmy Fallon!
You made it! Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure they get through this experience in one piece. They've got the very best guide,
Malcolm!
and the greatest driver. They're the best. I love them. Even though
Malcolm!
both me
That's more than that.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, thanks, Jimmy. First, if you need guest assistance or have a medical emergency, or if you drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab that ready cord that runs along just under the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please stay seated and keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Remember to use that red cord above your head if you need any assistance of any kind. Now, the studio is private property. But anytime during the tour you drop your phone or you just can't wait to use the restroom, pull that cord, but you remain seated. Please no smoking of any kind during the tour. Be prepared that our tour today features loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and many water effects. You're going to want to have your cameras out for great photo opportunities, and keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety, for the safety of those around you, no selfie sticks while on board. All right, right-hand side here, Damon and Pythias came out in 1914, our very first major motion picture. I remember seeing an opening day in theaters. It was fantastic. Just kidding. Now, we've been making movies here for over 100 years. In that time period, we have made over 8,000 major motion pictures. Some of those include Best Picture winners like Out of Africa, The Sting, Beautiful Mind, Deer Hunter, just to name a few. Now, our founder was a man by the name of Carl Laemmle. He had this dream, he had this vision. He wanted to create a city that was dedicated entirely to the making of major motion pictures. And that is exactly what we are out here. We are our very own city. We've got our own health and services department. We've got our own sheriff's department. At one point in time, if you can believe this, we actually had our very own DMV out here. So some of the employees would come out here taking their driver's permit tests and stuff. A couple different coffee shops to make sure everybody stays caffeinated during the filmmaking process. And if you look outside of the right-hand side of the tram here, we even have our very own fire Station 51. Now this is not a set, this is a real working fire station, and they keep us safe throughout the filmmaking process. A lot of really cool tributes to Fire Station 51. My personal favorite, there's an episode of Friends where Lisa Kudrow and Jennifer Aniston, who play Phoebe and Rachel on the show, they live together and then a fire starts in their apartment. Anyway, the firefighter who shows up in that episode has a Fire Station 51 emblem on his helmet, which fits into our fire station right there. Alright, next up, we're going to head on to the front line, and you're going to get a glimpse of what's called sound stages. That's these really big buildings with the numbers on the side. Now, each of these walls are a little bit thicker than a 2x4. Takes about 98% of the sound out, because we got a theme park going on here. We got to make sure the sound quality is absolutely pitch perfect inside whenever our actors are in the middle of the scene. The left-hand side here, one part of the sound stage is say hello to my little friend. That's the filming ending of Scarface. And then that is what it looks like right inside there. That was also used in Pirates of the Caribbean. be a Dead Man's Chest. That's where Jack Sparrow goes on a rowboat to go see the witch doctor. On the left-hand side here, that soundstage was used in Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell, who plays like the crazy youth soccer coach. And then up here on the left-hand side, Superstore with America Ferrera and Ben Shelton. This is Cloud9.
Yeah, you know, it makes us small. Your face stays where it is, it's good.
Also Hacks and Bel Air from the front side there. For all the Jurassic Park fans on board, this was the soundstage used in the original Jurassic Park. It's where Laura Dern flicks on all the switches to like reset the park, and then Samuel Jackson's arm comes down to her shoulder, and then she turns as that giant prosthetic arm because he's hyperactive. Also Fast Times at Ridgemont High with Sean Penn as the on the left-hand side here, just in the distance, that's the Abbott and Costello parking structure. On the very top floor right there, you'll see those blue tents. Now that was seen on your screens in this clip. We go from Jeff Goldblum to the top of the parking structure right there. Oh my gosh. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And we go right into the T-Rex. I'll show that clip a little bit later on the tour, but I gotta point it out, it's just such a cool example of how the backlot can be utilized. Left-hand side here, soundstage 14. This was used by Ron Howard. This was The Grinch's Lair and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Also used by Ron Howard. He was making Apollo 13. That's what Mission Control was. So the famous scene of Tom Hanks being like, Houston, we have a problem. That's where Houston was. Also used in John Carpenter's The Thing, starring Kurt Russell. And in Jurassic Park, that's the scene where they're on top of the canopy. And then the Brachiosaurus sneezes on like the young kids. On the right-hand side here, we don't just make major motion pictures here, we also make quite a bit of television. So we're going to be passing by what we refer to as Sitcom Alley. Over the years, there's been home to Coach with Craig T. Nelson, Parenthood with Craig T. Nelson, Different Strokes, Sabrina the Teenage Witch with Melissa Joan Hart and Nate Richard, Mr. Show with Bob Odenkirk, Pickup Shots for Seamus Hill with Tobey Maguire, Fate of the Furious, Dominic Toretto, Vin Diesel, and the first celebrity sighting of the day, the Minions. Oh my gosh, there they are. The film goes to over $1 billion in the box office along with the Spring Awakening, so we're very proud of this. On the right-hand side, these two sound stages, these were used in Good Girls with Christina Hendricks, this is the interior shots, and The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. Kristen Bell of Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Ted Danson of Cheers fame. Now, speaking of Ted Danson, look outside the left-hand side of the trailer. There's Ted drinking. Now you'll notice he's holding a martini. In Hollywood, the final shot of the day is what's known as the martini shot. Because during the golden age of cinema, they would all go out and celebrate with like martinis after a successful day of shooting. Left-hand side here, these beige buildings, these are our production bungalows. Originally, these were our contract actors like Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, Lucille Ball, Elvis Day. These were their makeup trailers. Currently, it's home to production companies like Monkey Paw Productions, which is Jordan Peele's production company, responsible for Get Out, Us, on the left-hand side here, 5180 and 5170, this belonged to Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward. So they got to kind of work together right across from each other. So romantic. One of Hollywood's old school power couples. Also out here is Martin Mack Productions, which gave us Bridge of Spies with Tom Hanks, La La Land with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. You'll see the logo from Mark Platt Productions here. It's the capital letters MP. And then right next to it is the symbol for the Broadway play Wicked, because they were responsible for that as well. Then up here on the left-hand side, bundle of 5195, very famous silhouette of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock, the director of Vertigo, Rear Window, Birds, Psycho.
You said if you didn't get that office. I said, no, I could never get Hitchcock films. I had to be a fly, a museum.
Very exciting. Just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock has been really everywhere. I saw Hitchcock when he was smoking around the commissary.
Hitchcock, I just thought below on the line. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror. The Birds, that was a really scary movie.
Birds? Oh, man. That had me looking at crows like for the next 10 years.
Psycho, of course. Vertigo was probably the all-time great masterpiece. Hitchcock was masterful.
All right, so left-hand side here, these are some of our newer sound stages. What's really interesting about these two sound stages in particular is at the very front of them, these are where like the offices are, but there's a live studio audience built inside here. So it's like the stadium seating and the surrounding three walls. This is where they filmed Keenan Thompson. Filmed right inside here. Yeah, so Dollhouse, the reason I say that is because that was developed during I Love Lucy. What they did when they were filming I Love Lucy is they like put in the laugh track afterwards, and they were like, as they were filming it, they're like, no, this really isn't working. Let's bring in a live studio audience. And that kind of started the whole series of sitcoms doing that. Also, it films inside here some later seasons of Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Andy Samberg, Hairspray Live with Kristen Chenoweth and Sean Hayes, and Will and Grace, the revivals of Deborah Messing, Eric McCormick, Megan Mullally, and Sean Hayes, filmed right inside these two sound stages, which is, pretty incredible. Also, oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, America's Got Talent. A lot of times filmed right inside here. Now we're going to be passing by into our Metro sets. This is where we shoot all the big stuff, all the giant set pieces you see in film take place outside here. Now the reason why they film out in our Metro sets, or the main reasons, is because it's actually much more fiscally responsible for the budget of your film to shoot out in our Metro sets and just rent it and try to make it look like whatever metropolitan area you're reincorporating in terms of shooting on location, because there's no businesses out here. You don't have to pay for any of these shops to close down for the day. In fact, you have to pay a lot of the background extras to come in and make it look like a real city is going on. So on the left-hand side here, this brick wall, I know it looks like a real brick wall. It's actually a very thin sheet of plastic. They make them in a giant machine called a vacuum press, and what they'll do is they'll vacuum form it down. It's sort of like a giant waffle machine, and they can construct this virtually overnight. Some fun things that have filmed outside here. Got to mention this one. The Blues Brothers, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
When the Pinto fell and you saw it land and make this big hole in the street, that was on the back lot. He dropped it from a crane. You dig like that in Chicago, you're not a good idea.
When people ask me all of the movies I've ever done, what is the most satisfying and most fun, I've got to say Blues Brothers. We got to sing, we got to dance, got to drive and train with the best stunt people in the world, and got to be an actor and a writer. So it was a good piece of work.
Danny called John America's Guest because just to walk into anybody's house.
During the shooting of the movie, John was missing, we couldn't find him.
Danny went off looking for him. He saw a light on in this one house, knocked on the door.
I said, sir, we're doing a movie down here, we're looking for one of our actors. Oh, John, yeah, he's on my couch. He came in, he had a snack a couple hours ago, he's sleeping. He was America's Guest. I mean, literally that happened.
So as we pass by our Metro sets, the one street that you're kind of visible, that we'll see that we'll be driving by, there's a movie theater front. That's like the kiosk of the outside of a movie theater, and that's was used in Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. It's where they're oh hey, that's the tram going by. It's where Tobey Maguire's running late to Kirsten Dunst's play, and he does like the backflip off the scooter, and then all the people file out of the movie theater. There's that acoustic guitar player playing the original theme of Spider-Man. Now currently it's closed for film because they're getting ready to film. They redecorated the entire area to look like a Chinatown in San Francisco, and it really does start coming to life with all those little nuanced details. You have to think of it as like a giant blank canvas, and you'll see all the details that the set decorators and set designers put in there as we pass by. It's pretty incredible. It was also used in, like right on the corner here, this was the Burt Bacharach dance sequence in Austin Powers with Spider Jackman. Yeah, there you go. There's one that production. They spent the last couple of weeks kind of setting all of this up. Pretty spectacular. So that side is, where that movie theater is, that's Spider-Man 2. But on your left-hand side is giant brick road that opens up right here. This is where Andrew Garfield was hanging for the Amazing Spider-Man. Right off that center brick wall right there. So it's sort of like one side Andrew Garfield, the other side Tobey Maguire. I always call it Spider-Man. Anyway, as we pass by that downtown concrete tunnel, we're going to head on into a different jungle. Here's Peter Jackson to tell you about it.
It's the original King Kong case built on the way. So that I like films that just take you away from your real life. They just sweep you up the edge. Kong literally does it. I mean, you're on a ship, it's fine. It's fun. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along. We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of him. He's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. You know, he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are the window into his personality. He's had enormous encounters with his crows, the T-Rexes, and the various dinosaurs on Skull
call this cell phone number because we are back in Skull Island. If you lose something in Skull Island, it might be lost forever. Usually hang on all those cell phones. Give it up for Tom from 63D. Woo! Check out that screen, folks. That screen is over 40 feet tall and over 180 feet wide. Make it one of the most immersive 3D experiences in the world. Anybody get any dinosaur spin on them? Yeah. That's real dinosaur spin. They import that from overseas. Super expensive. Just kidding. And Peter Jackson partnered with Meta FX. They recognize Meta FX for the work of Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, you can for any more Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Wonder Woman, just to name a few. And not the first time that Peter Jackson has partnered with Meta FX. He partnered with them back in 1997 for the film Fight Nerd with Michael J. Fox. But anyway, here's the Meta FX team to tell you a little bit more about Home 63D.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. Working in the movie, we always know what this story is, everything the shot that they're working on. We have to take into account that it's really also looking at this a lot of these more stories they're working on different cuts. Because it's the only thing that shot is trying to drive in the this it's very represents the screen is 10 years away. The vision about minutes of a feature film. They're about the visual dimension, that number of pixels and presented into the audience. That's a hell of a lot.
So you might have noticed in the middle of Kong 360 that our tram, they got pulled onto the screen. And all those people inside were like smiling, having a great time as the T-Rexes were about to eat them. That's the What FX team. So they put themselves in a Kong 360 to be immortalized forever. Also, when our tram got pulled onto the screen, we became in Hollywood what's known as a picture car. So a picture car is any car in a major motion picture. That's where that term comes from. And sometimes those cars become just as famous as the actors in the film. So get your cameras ready, because on the left-hand side, we're going to be passing by some of our famous Universal picture cars. tank right at the end here, I know it looks real. Plastic, paint, and fiberglass. Unbelievable job by the art department. That was seen in the first Transformers with Shia LaBeouf. That's still over on Metro streets. Also, the gyrosphere from Jurassic World, you might have noticed, didn't have any glass exterior, and it didn't when they were making the film either. Glass is very difficult to work with. Picks up a lot of the reflections of the camera, so it's a lot easier to put it in post-production with CGI. Now, as we head away from the picture car stop, we're going to head into an older era, an era from an ancient time. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right, welcome to Jurassic Park. Here's that clip I was showing you in the front lot. Now, the way they filmed this is they tied a cable around Julie Atmore's waist, and they lifted her upwards. They just reversed the shot. The final product of the film. It's right here. That's in reverse. Now, Richard Attenborough, who said Welcome to Jurassic Park, he himself was a filmmaker in his own right. He directed Gandhi, starring Ben Kingsley, and then 10 years later, he starred in Steven Spielberg's 1993 Jurassic Park. Now, we'll do a little bit of dinosaur training here in our back lot, and oh no, looks like they got out. Oh boy. So during the making of the original Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg really thought of everything. He had the entire cast and crew who were off camera walk around these specially form-fitted shoes that all left dinosaur footprints on the ground. So an island inhabited only by dinosaurs on the dirt and the gravel and the ground and stuff looked like it was just dinosaurs walking around. Pretty ingenious. You can imagine what that lunch break looked like because of the kind of dinosaur feet on it. Alright, so next up we're going to go to a different part of the world. This set's in old Mexico. From Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes. Also some music video from Baila So Ridiculous, music video Judas Lady Gaga, and an episode of Shameless, which really makes anything. But really what we want to show you is how we control weather out here in our back lot. So just like that, a little couple, a little lightning to set the tone, and all of a sudden it feels like a storm is approaching. Alright, we're going to count this down together, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, let it rain! Just like that, it's raining. So the water shoots up into the air with our sprinkler system and then falls back down naturally. And when our actors stand out in it, on camera, it looks just like the real thing. Just survived your first flash flood of a tour. Kept getting promises, hope you never. Now we're still here in old Mexico. On the right-hand side here, this alleyway was seen in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf are walking through the marketplace. The opening sequence of Three Amigos with Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin. An episode of Westworld filmed out here. Picard with Patrick Stewart. And Nacho Libre with Jack Black. So about there. Love that one. Nice stretch your pants. Alright, so next up we're going to head on to Six Points, Texas. So, Six Points, Texas got its name because originally it was 6 converging streets all into a single point. During the silent film era, that allowed filmmakers to make more than one movie all at the same time because they never heard that sound. Left-hand side here, this opera house was seen in Quentin Tarantino's ninth film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. On the left-hand side here, gotta point this out, you'll notice this blue door frame right there with sort of a stained glass window. That's a great example of what's called a practical effect. If you were to walk up to that, you would appear much larger. And they would do that all the time in those old school westerns with like the hero cowboy walking through the door frame, giant broad shoulders, that larger than life look. Here's another great example of a practical effect. Now, at the end of this clip, you're going to see Kirk Douglas talking to John Wayne. Kirk Douglas was standing on top of an apple box in order to maintain the same eye line with John Wayne. And they still use that exact same technique today in Hollywood all the time with actors who are different heights.
How dare you hit that man?
Mine hit the ground first.
And then John Wayne improvised this line.
Mine was taller.
And then he walks away and Kirk Douglas can't follow him. He's on top of an apple box. And he's just like, oh man, John Wayne, yeah, got me. And they used that clip in the movie. Also, this was used for Saving Mr. Banks. This was the old Australia during the opening sequence. Left-hand side here, just in the distance. That's where they filmed the voice. Also, they use it for American Song Contest, hosted by Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg. And Jordan Peele used that as well when he was making Us. That's the whole White Rabbit sequence in the classroom, and the climactic ending. On the left-hand side here, this is Park Lake. Now, this was the lagoon in Creature from the Black Lagoon. Also used in McHale's Navy with Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway. And they got to work together later in their careers when they voiced Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy on SpongeBob SquarePants. Then it was seen in Jurassic Park 3. That's where Sam Neill pops out of the water, shoots the flare gun at the dinosaur, and the whole lake bursts into flames. Now, next up, we're going to head on into Little Europe. These are our oldest sets in the entire backlog. These have been here a very long time, all the way back to our monster movies. So, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Invisible Man, Dracula, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Phantom of the Opera. Which is why today in Hollywood, we are still known as the Monster Movie Studio. We'll recognize Little Europe from The Good Place with Kristen Bell and Ted Danson.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
Location, the afterlife.
I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad. But
How can I help you?
what is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Right-hand side, that alleyway was used in Don't Mess with the Zohan, Adam Sandler. The cobblestone we're driving over right now was seen in the opening scene in City Slickers. This was Pamplona, Spain for the whole running of the mold, starring Billy Crystal and Daniel Stern. You'll recognize Little Europe from Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. This was Genovia during the whole wedding sequence. On the right-hand side, so this is called Court of Miracles. Like I was saying, all of our monster movies. Right in the center there, 1933, Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's where the fountain was, where he was sort of tied up. That was also used in Charlie's Angels from 2001, starring Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore. That was the scene where Matt LeBlanc and Lucy Liu get in an argument. That big overhead crane shot took place right at Court of Miracles. And parts of Little Europe were also used as Tortuga in Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. It's the scene where Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow is hiding behind the statue, and then all the soldiers run by, and then he runs inside and has that little sword fight with Orlando Bloom. But here's sort of a glimpse of some of those monster movies I was talking about.
What is it now? The monster. He's in the woods. Get out the bloodhounds. Raise all the men you can, lock the women indoors, and wait for me. I'm ready! Take your torches and go!
Why don't you shoot me?
So right behind us, right where those white trucks are parked, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. They came back for the sequel, and that was used as the tavern where Jack Sparrow's looking for like a new hat. And they had two overhead cranes lower down chandeliers, and they just set the camera up right in the grass here and filmed it pointing back it that way. And they filmed it at night, so when you're watching it in the theater, you're like, oh, that must be inside some sort of tavern or bar or something. But no, just filmed outside here. One of those kind of basic movie magic kind of things. Which is kind of cool to have like both the first and the sequel both filmed in Little Europe. As you can see, not that big of a set, but really classic Hollywood. So next up, we're going to head on into Soundstage 50 here. This is one of our real-life working sound stages. And actually, I'll sort of give you an idea of what film's inside here.
Look, they're sweets.
Hello,
looks very upset.
When I talked to him, he said the guy died in his arms.
That's with the FBI?
FBI, yeah. We hear about the human remains.
That's him. Right over there.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
set decorators really brings this to life. This does kind of feel like a 1980 San Francisco car station. Thanks to the actors, the director are all on break, but we're lucky enough to drive in here. We do a lot of action stunt sequences inside here. Well, that happens sometimes in California. Anyway, the secret of filmmaking. Whoa! Hang on, everybody. Beverly Hills Cop 3 with Eddie Murphy. It's when they go to Wonderworld, right? Then he runs through there to escape the security guards. Now, I could certainly use a vacation after surviving that earthquake. And nothing says vacation better than Amity Island. It's Murder, She Wrote that she started. Alright, now we're paused here momentarily. Now, I know what you're thinking. They caught that pesky shark, and ever since then, everything's been real peaceful. The entire community, they've all kind of rallied around, really made it a kind of prosperous area. There's a scuba diver out there today, good friend of mine. His name is Tomas. He knows we're coming. He's going to pop up and wave hello to all of us. Now, there was quite a few actually fun facts about Jaws, but everyone's always really obsessed nowadays with like the end of the credits scene of movies. Next time you're rewatching Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg, at the very end of the credits, you'll see that Hopper and Roy Scheider, they actually, the very last scenes that they're kicking away in the big yellow barrels, but they end up on the beach. As the credits are rolling, they end up kind of washing ashore and then standing up. It's really in the distance, but kind of one of those early on end of the credits scenes, which another one of the many firsts for Jaws. Now, all right, looks like we're taking off. So here we go. Yeah, there's Tomas. He's in the water. He's scrubbing the bottom of the boats. Real good friend of mine. See, they caught that pesky shark, and ever since then, everything's been real peaceful. We should be completely fine as long as we don't hear any scary music composed by John Williams. Uh-oh. Oh, no, shark in the water, shark in the water. Tomas is out there. Tomas! Watch out, Tomas! Tomas! Incidentally, Universal's hiring a scuba diver if anybody's interested. Like sharks eating fruits. But anyway, here's Steven Spielberg to tell you about the making of Jaws.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, "The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark."
We just waited around. We just waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there that things was all right. So I did overstrike a lot.
To chickens on the right-hand side. That's known as our chicken ranch. That was seen in Festival Whorehouse in Texas, Burnt Mountain, Dollar Park. LMFAO's music video starring through Party Rock and Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. Left-hand side currently closed for filming today. You can see they're getting ready to film the holiday special. Kind of a cool example of how they film scenes or TV shows outside of the seasons. Now that's Colonial Street. That was also seen in Wisteria Lane, Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, It's a good name.
Also seen in The Burbs with Tom Hanks, Corey Feldman, Carrie Fisher, and Bruce Leonard. And Smash Mouth's music video All-Star, or at least that's what somebody once told me. Alright, we're going to check out some more picture cards on your right-hand side. The green Mini Cooper was seen in Mr. Bean's Holiday with Rowan Atkinson. The Mini Cooper behind it was seen in Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. That pickup truck was seen in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, starring George Clooney in the Coen Brothers film. Dominic Toretto's Charger from the Fast and Furious franchise. The black Ford right there was seen in Public Enemies with Christian Bale and Johnny Depp. Some of the other automobiles from Too Fast, Too Furious, and of course Bumblebee from Transformers. Wow, what a cool looking motel. I bet the owner's a really nice guy.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
He's got a knife. Watch out, Carrefour. Watch out, Carrefour. See you later, Norman. Now from one of the most iconic houses in all of horror film, Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, to one of our biggest sets, Wellington's War of the Worlds. Starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, directed by Steven Spielberg in 2005.
Airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around engaging with Stephen.
When you sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, now, listen. I want you to close your eyes, okay? Now, closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
So all that for just a couple of minutes of screen time to get Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg together. Unbelievable combination. On the left-hand side, just in the distance right there, that log cabin, that was seen in The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Alright, next up we're going to head on into Jupiter's Claim. This is our newest attraction here in the back lot. Here is Academy Award winner Jordan Peele to tell you about it.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Planet, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Right. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not even so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? Welcome to the world of no.
Get out. Peel out of here. Anybody laugh at that? Nope. Alright. I'm getting a security broadcast from our security team. I'm catching through your screens.
Look, this might be more serious than I thought. What just happened? This is a secure line. Who are you?
I'll tell you who I am, boy. I'm the reason bad guys use a nightlight. I'm the reason the boogeyman begs his mama to look under his bed. And I'm the reason he just lost control of this whole operation. My name is Special Agent Luke Hobbs of the U.S. Diplomatic Security Service. And as of 16.9 seconds ago, I'm the man in charge.
The hell you are?
Let me clue you in on two things, sweet cheeks. One, there's a high-value witness from the Federal Protection Program aboard your vehicle. And two, an international crime syndicate led by Owen Shaw is honing in on this vehicle to take that witness out. Shaw's as ruthless as they come. He'll stop at nothing to eliminate his target. Every living soul on this vehicle is in serious danger. Other than that, enjoy the ride.
This is not your jurisdiction.
It is now, stink pickle.
I'm so tired of you stink guys stepping in. Just whatever you feel like.
Mute him.
Don't you...
That's bad. We're moving your vehicle to a safe location until we have the situation under control. Until then, I want everybody to stay calm. Enjoy the ride. Taking care of business.
Alright, folks, it's party time. P-A-R-T-Y, because I got it.
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, let's back up a little bit. Got it. It's like that. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody.
Cop messages to clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle tonight.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Pops can't hold forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
Yes, sir.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, folks, get those 3D glasses on. That's what you're going to need them. They also double as a disguise for Owen Shaw. Now, this is the final action sequence of the movie. We got to get this in one take and one take only. The cameras are up. The lights are rolling. The director's giving us the green light. This movie's called Fast and Furious 50. Tuna, no crust. All right, let's do this. Lights, camera, action.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Come to the left. This thing ain't moving fast enough. Roman, Letty, hook him up. Now we're moving.
You can be the witness to whether we call it a day! The witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away! Call it the...
Way to go, Letty.
Don't run out of the missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this.
Open up triple heading on the bridge! Under construction! Everybody out!
Hit the nitrous. Ride or die.
Hell of a job, everybody. You protected the witness, and you can resume breathing.
Hell of a job, everybody. You protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
That's my line.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much, John. Folks, that's going to bring us to the end of the tour. Way to go. Oh my gosh. High fives all the way around. Right-hand side here, one final look at our studio that we just drove through with the sun shining on it. Wow, those clouds look like snow. That's pretty cool. Definitely inspired Jordan Peele. Been making movies here for over 100 years. Truthfully, thousands of movies have come out of this view right here, with Warner Brothers in the distance, followed by Disney Animation. All three studios lined up right there. Wow, fantastic. Been making movies here for over 100 years. Hopefully we'll be making movies for hundreds and hundreds more. If you enjoyed the tour today, my name is Malcolm. If you did, oh, my name is Ty. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of Los Angeles. As always, we'll see you in the movies. Watch your step as you exit the left-hand side of the tram. Make sure you return your 3D glasses to the 3D glasses receptacles. Also, make sure you check out our streaming service Peacock and The Kelly Clarkson Show. As they say in the movies, that's a wrap.
Time to